It's time. Let's have some energy. I did have some things planned to start with my presentation, but I'm gonna come back to it because let's find something more fun first. Yes. So, a major amount of diet that humans have and herbivores have, and all our primitive primate relatives have had, was majorly plant based, and it's for good reasons as well. They are immobile, they don't fight you back, but and they are a very abundant source of nutrition, but they are not as vulnerable as they seem. They have evolved. Nature has given them a lot of weapons to deal with attackers of different genres of fauna. I would like to present a scenario of a fight scene over here, where in the red corner we have Plant Kingdom, which is immobile, which are very tall in some cases. They have defenses, are sometimes thick skin, a bark. उनके पास कांटे हैं, तो better not touch them. And they have chemical attacks called plant toxins as well. While on the other side, in the blue corner, there are herbivores. We are mobile. We are tall in some cases of giraffes. We have attack anticipation, like a stimuli, which is more active than the plants have gathered to get. Physical attacks, we have teeth, claws, and limb. And special attacks, we have our human brain. Most of us, everyone. So in this fight sequence, the plants have developed chemical attacks, which are toxin in most of the cases, and these toxins are secondary metabolites. So in plant kingdom, the primary, and in every organism, there are primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Primary metabolites being the products which are necessary for survival, like glucose, like hemicellulose, cellulose, the structural compounds that create xylem and phloem, and then secondary metabolites that work on non-survival attributes but still are very, very critical for survival. I'm going to speak a lot. I'm going to take a lot of topics from the Darwinian theory of survival for this talk that I present today. So what makes one species fit for survival, or what makes them survival? It's not just कि जिसका number of organisms सबसे ज़्यादा है. That was Darwin's theory. By that logic, ants are much more successful as a species than humans are right now, because they are much more in number than we are right now, and probably would be in the next few years. But it was not so easy for them as well. So they develop a lot of secondary metabolites. And to have the so plant kingdom, to have their cycle grow, to have more and more of their population, they started creating secondary metabolites, which examples could be to attack bees for pollination. They got colors, they got fragrances. These all are not something which is necessary for their survival, but अगर मेरे को एक मधुमक्खी को attract करना है, then they have some fragrances, they have some colors, they have also electric charges. In some documentaries have been discovered, but that's not my topic for today. That's one example of secondary metabolites where they are working to interact and to engage interaction with outside organisms. While some of the cases where in the fight with herbivores, not all the things go straight all the way. For example, chilies. चिड़िया चिली मिर्ची खा सकते हैं, and the reason why मिर्ची के बीज are तीखे and not उसकी skin is because to prevent the chili being eaten by mammals and ruminants, which chew them a lot. So when the ruminants chew the seeds, they release capsaicin and they trigger the chemotaxis effects, and that's why animals do not like much chilies. But हम देसी लोग को फिर भी काफी चस्का है. But birds do not need to chew it. They swallow it and then they disperse those seeds. This is why this is one example of secondary metabolites helping them to increase their population by seed dispersion. Another very interesting case study is the case study of avocados. Avocados were designed as a highly caloric, full of calorie fruit, which was designed for mammoths and big giants who can eat it as it is. And the high fat content gave them a rich amount of calorie. And because they had big gut and big systems of digestion, they could just excrete the big pit of avocado And that's how when the mammoths it got extinct on the planet, so did the avocados as well. It was some jaguars that was able to keep it alive till humans found out that इससे पैसे कमा सकते हैं. But in the fight of plants versus herbivores, I'm gonna focus on how flavors were developed. So, tikha, turmeric, cinnamon, vanilla, chocolate. These were not put on earth for humans to enjoy them. We discovered them. We just discovered them. They are over there for their own benefits for the plants. For example, the nature went from touch me not plant to I dare you touch me. So a very convenient form of bombs, as I would like to say, are landmines and shoots of the seeds, shoots of the trees. Landmines, for example, is onions, garlics, and anything of the allium family. Cows, if they shed their hoot on, but this is mostly for the microorganisms or the earthworms that live inside the soil. अगर वो दांत मारेंगे onions पे या garlic पे, only then the two precursor glucosinates combines with myronase, which are stored in the cell vacuum and different parts of the cell. When the cell is crushed, they combine with each other, and the myrosinase, an enzyme, breaks down glucosinates and they create allicin, which is the pungent smell, which we like for different reasons, but it's actually very lethal for such microorganisms. Some similar example is wasabi and horseradish. In Japanese restaurants, अगर आपने sushi के साथ कभी गलती से मजे में वो हरा पेस्ट खाया होगा तो आंखें और सब सुन जाता है for a couple of seconds. And that is very well intended, but restaurants के अंदर all over the world they use mostly horseradish because wasabi needs a very soft growth situations which are exclusively in Japan and some parts of Northern Europe, given the purity of water and very nice growing environments for that. Another such example is cinnamon. Cinnamon के trees पे जब wild animals tropical जगहों के ऊपर उनके ऊपर हाथ मारते थे और उसके ऊपर दीमक लग रही है अगर तो it's not the outermost layer जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा cinnamaldehyde another secondary metabolite का सबसे ज़्यादा concentration है, but it's the inner barks where if the organisms reach they are bye bye forever. It's lethal in a very small dosage to very small microorganisms as well. Citrus peels, on the other hand, are on the same hand in fact, are again very bitter on purpose. क्योंकि अगर ruminants उसको खाएंगे जैसे गाय, giraffe या other herbivores, they would, because of the lack of hands, they would just chew on it and they would, first thing they would see is a very, very bitter experience which they would not like. On the other hand, primates would open it up, eat it and disperse the seeds. This is why most of the colors and flavors and fragrances in the plant kingdom have developed. Nature had no intention to help us eat better food. It's only humans who cook their food, tikha zyada, momos ki chutney, mayonnaise mein kuch. Animals don't do that. They do not bothered by it. Another one of my personal favorite examples of work of nature to deter the rest of the population so that they can grow very well is yeast and its alcohol production. So in any fermentation or in any alcohol, a port wine is another very good example of this. जब भी yeast एक spontaneous fermentation से मैं इसका example start करूँगा, जब whenever you are making let's say kombucha or natural wines या फिर कोई भी naturally occurring culture से आप start करेंगे, it's always a symbiotic culture of a lot of things. Like SCOBY, which is used for kombucha, is a symbiotic culture of yeasts and bacteria. And so is the starter for sourdough bread. Yeast develops alcohol after digesting glucose into sugars and alcohol because most of the animals or the microorganisms cannot survive at alcohol percentages greater than 2%. Why that happens is a rather interesting concept I'm going to come back to afterwards. And this is why port wine port wine is called port wine because it is fortified alcohol जिसमें pirates या फिर sea sailors more alcohol डाल के अपने wine को ले जाते थे क्योंकि अगर उसके अंदर सिर्फ 8% alcohol है there are still other microorganisms who can grow in that, while when it is fortified to 15% they would need to consume it less maybe. And other organisms would also not dare to grow in that because they would just quickly die. Cooking, cooking is an exclusively human practice. Not just discovering flavors, we have discovered ways to make it more palatable and safer for ourselves. Though we have longer and different digestive system than most of the organisms, which allow us to digest some of the toxins that are not nice for most of the animals, like nicotine and polyphenols in the tea, to caffeine and to alcohol as well, to olive oil, terpenes. Caramelization and Maillard reaction are the two prime browning coloring reactions that exist in nature. Caramelization reaction happens at 120 degrees at its highest pace, where sugars are broken down into flavorful components. Different sugars caramelize and create different reactions and different products of flavor differently. इसीलिए दूध जब पकता रहेगा सर्दियों के मौसम में और जब वो पिंक हो जाएगा, it is because दूध के solids are getting caramelized and दूध के sugars, which is lactose, is also getting caramelized. The proteins are also more involved in Maillard reactions, while the sugars are exclusively caramelized. तो यदि कोई इंडस्ट्री प्रोफेशनल भी आपको बोलता है कि ये ब्रेड है या नान है, it is beautifully caramelized, it's not generally exclusively caramelization. Caramelization is exclusively sugars which are ending in O's, lactose, glucose, fructose. They are caramelized, and everything else, fats, proteins, they are all considered go through the Maillard set of reactions, which are 56 reactions, if I'm not wrong, discovered in 1975. And since then, they have been the staple of cooking. Humans evolved to be able to eat food which is not food for other organisms. Teas. Fermentation is, like ma'am said, fermentation and Oolong tea. I I was smiling at that. Fermentation helps to break down polyphenols and different reactions that happen and different things which are not so convenient to eat for us. And just getting to what's in front of you guys, please. Like I said, chefs learned to make vanilla and chocolate, two of the most beloved flavors by humans, palatable. तो जो आपके सामने है, it is a green vanilla bean. ये इसको आप हाथ लगाएंगे तो थोड़े से हाथ टिंगल कर सकते हैं. इसको खाइएगा मत अभी. आपकी टेबल पे टूथपिक्स भी हैं. आप इसके अंदर से टूथपिक का एंड यूज करके सीड्स को स्कूप कर सकते हैं एंड आप उसको ट्राई कर सकते हैं. वनीला के अंदर ग्लूकोवेनिलिन एक कंपाउंड होता है, जैसे प्याज के अंदर भी एक और कंपाउंड होता है. दिस when attacked by microorganism, it combines with glucosidase, which is another enzyme, and it helps to break down the glucovenilin into vanilla and glucose. ये इसको आपको ग्रीन को नहीं खाना है, आपको आइस को आपको स्टिक को यूज करके उसके अंदर से छोटे छोटे बीज निकालने हैं. हाँ जी, और आप उसी को खा सकते हैं. हो सकता है इसको टच करने के बाद आपके हाथ टिंगल करे, बट दैट्स फाइन. मैंने कच्चा खाया था जस्ट टू मेक श्योर एवरीवन इज सेफ. 3 दिन पहले, विल बी फाइन. पेट भी खराब नहीं हुआ. सो वनीला को प्रिपेयर करने के लिए इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ स्टेप्स. बिफोर दिस प्रेजेंटेशन I had never seen green vanilla in my life. Been working in some nice places. Thanks to Salim Bhai, who is working 65 kilometers south of Kochi, he managed to send this to me very quickly. Amazing. The process of humans converting vanilla into edible vanilla is rather very interesting. It goes up by, most of the credit goes to nature by the concept of autolysis, which is auto and breaking down, using the components which exist by itself. So the process is the bean that you have in front of yourself is harvested at the prime. फिर उसके बाद उसको sweat करते हैं, which is heating it at 65 degrees so that all the bacteria, they die mostly at 45 to 50 degrees, while the enzymes get activated at 62 degrees. These enzymes start to break down the compounds inside and start to create vanilla and glucose. जैसे lactose free milk को बनाया जाता है lactase को यूज करके, ताकि वो लैक्टोज को तोड़ के ग्लूकोज बनाए एंड फ्री शुगर्स बनाए, विच आर ह्यूमंस कैन डाइजेस्ट मोर कन्वीनियंटली. सो आप देखेंगे स्वेटिंग इज द स्टेप व्हेन द ग्रीन बीन्स क्या विजिबल है, यस. तो ग्रीन बीन्स आर स्टीम to activate the enzymes in the most nicest way, and then उनको sun में dry करा जाता है, just like coffee as well. इसको करने के लिए हम लोग 2 to 3 weeks we let them live in the sun so that all the glucovanillin is broken now into glucose and vanilla. In this process, a lot of water is created and sheds out as well. इसलिए उसको sun dry भी करा जाता है ताकि a lot of water goes away, because water activity is what microorganisms look for, and that's how things go rancid and go waste. इसको slowly inside dry करा जाता है to bring the moisture level back to 20 to 25%, and that is how vanilla is aged. And then it is aged for 3 to 9 months before it is served to you. So it takes about 1 year from this 2,000 रुपए kilo to each 20,000 rupees a kilo. Chocolate. Another very interesting and most loved. तो जो आपके सामने है, they are chocolate beans, and this is the first form of edible chocolate that humans can get from the nature. आप इसको खाने के लिए इसके ऊपर एक मूंगफली जैसा छिलका है, आप उसको दबाइए और थोड़ा सा कचरा फैलेगा तो you can use the plates please. And इसके अंदर you will find chocolate pods. As you can see in the picture over here, it starts with a pod जिसके ऊपर एक husk होता है just like coconut, और उसके अंदर एक white mucus होता है which is like a pulp. This is 100% real chocolate, so it would not be the most amazing chocolate by taste subjectively, but it would be the most amazing chocolate by conceptivity, unless आपने और बना दिया. This chocolate goes through 2 rounds of fermentation, which is lactic acid fermentation, which happens from sugar, and वो lactic acid create करते हैं, and then lactic acid के साथ alcohol भी create होता है, because yeast is over there. And that alcohol and ethanol is a precursor to acetic acid fermentation, which creates more and more compounds. This again is slow dried in the sun for 2 to 3 weeks, and that's when Salim Bhai sent it to me. Yesterday, I roasted these in my home oven at 165 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes to have them reduce their water content and have them a more kick in their flavor, let's say. Chocolate, iske baad, the next steps. In this moment right now, we are in the bottom over here. If you could see my mouse, no, you should not. So bottom right corner. From this, we start winnowing. That is, we break down and we kachra, bahar ka kachra hum fek dete hain, and we get the seeds which are the bottom one. Then we put them into a dosa बनाने वाली machine जो आटे को उसको winnowing करती है, उसको बहुत छोटा छोटा grind कर देती है, which is the first step to create cacao mass. इस step से there are 2 points. Either they put it into a hydraulic press, take out all the fat, and create cocoa powder. That mass is sold separately as cacao mass and cocoa powder for confectionery uses. And that mass can further be added into the next batch of ground coffee, of ground chocolate to make chocolate bar, sorry. They are 2 similar products. And then tempering and packaging of chocolate happens because the fat crystals can exist in 5 different crystalline structures. They exist at different temperatures, and they could be 10 hours of talk about this. Yeah, this was my intended end of the speech, but so है मेरे पास 5 मिनट और 3 मिनट और, ठीक है. बहुत सारे लोगों ने आज बात करी हाउ फैट्स, डायबिटीज़ एंड ये सारी चीज़ों से इंडिया बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान है. एंड आई रियली वांटेड टू बी दिस थिंग एज अ मैसेज, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम लोग इंडिया की कलरी इंडस्ट्री के आई थिंक टॉप पीपल आर सिटिंग ओवर हेयर. सम हैव लेफ्ट दिस place, but it's all right. So I'm just gonna throw some information as quickly and as clearly as I can, and I try to make it comfortable. 3 types of fatty acids are just acids like any other acid, like acid from lemon oil as well. These are called fatty acids because they were extracted from fat for the first time. 3 types, and on the top left, if we see palmitic oil is a completely saturated fatty acid. This means उसके अंदर जितने कार्बन एटम्स में हाइड्रोजन अटैच हो सकता था, it is completely saturated, no double bonds. Second, you see a mono unsaturated fat, मतलब एक double bond है. There is mono point of unsaturation of hydrogen atoms. That's what makes it an unsaturated fatty acid. Same goes with poly unsaturated fatty acids. More double bonds, so poly. Fun fact, the last one, linoleic acid, can also be called an omega acid because when the chains are so long, you just start counting the IUPAC number from the other way. And omega 3 means double bond is from the omega side of the chain. That's it. Triglycerides, which are fats, and mummy papa ke health reports mein milti hai, are such fatty acids combined with the glycerol compound. This was about fatty acids and triglycerides. जब डबल बॉन्ड आता है, like in the second picture, a monounsaturated fatty acid, need to see some hands. So single bonds also, it's a straight chain, no kinks. If it's a monounsaturated fat, it bends because hydrogen atom nahi hai and polarity change okay, it affects the structure. And when it's a polyunsaturated fatty acid, like the third one, you can see it develops all kinds of turns and kinks around, which affects the crystalline structure when you place it well. So like butter, जिसमें mostly palmitic or mysteric acid होता है, which are mostly flat, as you can see, they stand up so nice that nothing can pass through it. It is such a nice structure, and the forces of interaction between them are so nice that they did stay solid at room temperature because the room temperature itne heat nahi hai to put them apart. While olive oil, which contains oleic acid, and linoleic acid, which are polyunsaturated and monounsaturated oils, have developed kinks in it, as you can see over there. So they don't stack up very well with each other, and they are not so close enough to affect each other with hydrogen bonding and van der Waals forces to connect, to have the bond, to have just enough energy to be liquid at room temperature and even fridge temperatures as well. But my personal favorite, जिसको ज़्यादा इज्जत नहीं मिलती इंडिया में अनफॉर्चुनेटली, इज पीनट ऑयल, विच इज़ हाईली पॉलीअनसैचुरेटेड फैट. तो इट्स वेरी वेरी नाइस फॉर यू, और उसमें बहुत कम सैचुरेटेड एसिड होता है. उनका स्मोक पॉइंट भी 232 डिग्रीज पे होता है, सो यू कैन यूज द ऑयल वेरी वेल फॉर फ्राइंग एज वेल. बट मोनो अनसैचुरेटेड फैट्स, पॉलीसैचुरेटेड फैट्स, ये अच्छे क्यों हैं मेरे लिए? लास्ट टॉपिक ऑफ सेकेंड लास्ट, सॉरी. दिस इज एन एनिमल सेल. इसके अंदर प्लांट सेल की तरह सेल्यूलोज की आउटर कवर नहीं होती. द सेल वॉल इज मेड विद अ बाइफॉस्फोलिपिड लेयर. फॉस्फोलिपिड लाइक ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स बट ओनली विद 2 फैटी एसिड्स. तो अगर हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा सैचुरेटेड फैट खाएंगे तो जो फॉस्फोलिपिड्स की बाई लेयर है, इट वुड बी सो स्ट्रॉन्ग कि नथिंग कुड पास थ्रू वेरी वेल, and it would just stay there and floating in your blood vessels. And also oxygen and nutrition ka exchange within the cell would not be very nice. While if we eat more of polyunsaturated fats, they would develop kinks, and there would be more space to pass through the bilayer. This is why alcohol, which is a polar and non-polar solvent, killed most of coronavirus because it destroyed the bilayer. But then why is monounsaturated or unsaturated, completely saturated fats हैं भी क्या दुनिया में? वो सॉलिड हो जाएंगे रूम टेम्परेचर पे, उनके पार कुछ नहीं जा सकता. फॉर अ स्वीट लिटिल कोकोनट. सर पक्का लास्ट टॉपिक.
Go to my love.
Yes. Coconut is an evolutionary engineering masterclass. उसका एक हस्क है which will avoid it from sinking in the water because half पानी है, half air है, तो it can travel to different islands to propagate in its growth. उसके अंदर एक बहुत ही हार्ड कॉयर का शेल है जिसको जनरली लोग और एनिमल्स खा नहीं पाते अपने दांतों को बचाए तक. That physical barrier is also inside solid completely saturated fats. वो फैट इंसुलेशन के अंदर completely solid रहते हैं, which creates not only just a physical layer for the penetration, but also microorganisms do not much like to eat fat. So this is why flavors exist in nature, because secondary metabolites और उनको अपने प्राण बचाना है. नेचर ने हमारे लिए सिनेमन नहीं बनाया, ना ही ब्रिटिशर्स के लिए और ना ही किसी और के लिए. Nature did it for those organisms, and humans found it and found ways to cook it, to live with it, and yeast and alcohol, amazing inventions of nature for sure. Yes, sir. I can wind up for now.